Rob here again. Welcome to the workshop. This is going to be a complicated one. This is my Haydock Chicken House. Comes in 3 sizes, 5, 10, 15 bird. This is the 5 bird version. Where do I start? Specification. It's glued, it's screwed, there's no nails in it, zinc screws everywhere. It's totally over-spec. A lot of what I do is over-spec, but this one has to be. You've got all sorts of features on there, but no, second thoughts, I go back through the spec. 20mm thick boarding, tongue and groove boarding for the cladding. Any ply there is marine grade ply, and marine grade is what they build boats out of. So the odd bits and pieces in the nesting box in the floor, as I say, marine grade. The framework is mortise and tenon. Now for those of you who don't know, fundamentally is the verticals have got a hole in it, the horizontals have got a tongue. They lock in place, they're glued and pinned. It doesn't rag. Alright, so you can really push this around. It's rock solid. Put it on a roof rack if you must. It has lots of features. Now I'm of the opinion that to build a chicken house you must have been a chicken keeper. There's no point in just grabbing a design or someone telling you or pretending they do by buying off the internet and reselling them. I've kept chicken since around about 1976. Right? So I've done a lot of chicken, I've made a lot of mistakes. But I haven't made many mistakes with this. I say many because someone's going to prove me wrong one day, and there's always room for improvement. So also I have several basic rules when I design anything. And with chicken house in particular, because I'm one of my favourites, it must be functional from the bird's point of view. That's my first criteria. The second criteria, it must be functional from the keeper's point of view, i.e. me, because if you can't clean it or you can't move it, the likelihood is you won't get done. And thirdly, some would argue, most importantly, it has to be aesthetically pleasing. This is going in your garden. This is not something some third-year design students had a crack at. You know, this is something that's got to go in your garden. You've got to be aesthetically pleasing. One of the nicest things he ever said to me was that these are chicken houses even your neighbours can be proud of. So that's quite good. And I take a lot of care in making sure it balances. A little bit of care, a bit of sandpaper in there, countersink the screws, make it look like a piece of furniture, if you will. But I won't sell what I wouldn't buy, and I would buy one of these. Right, let's start with the function. Most basic function of all is the nesting. Now what we've got here is 2 nests. I allow 5 birds per nest. Industry standard is somewhere it's about 7. I also base everything on the hybrid, the laying bird. Bigger, smaller, okay, you can make your own mind up if you get fewer bigger ones or more little ones, but my standard is around the hybrid. So 2 nests. Now again, because I know about poo on the eggs, there's nothing more disgusting in my opinion than grab your egg and what you get is a handful of bird doings. So the birds, given the option, will roost in the nest. It's not because they're bone idle, it's just because they've got the option to do it. So if you let them, they will do it. So on as many arcs as I can, not all of them because sometimes it's just not feasible, I build in a nest shutter. And that's what this is. This shutter as it stands like now, and I'm hoping you can see it okay. Colin's going to come in a bit closer. You can see basically, as that is now, that bars the bird's access to the nests at night. So it's up like that so the birds can get in, and when you want your eggs, you lift it all the way. Some people do what they call a communal nest, which to my way of thinking is just a shortcut. What that means is all the birds can all pile in on one nest. What do? They lay on each other, they lay on their other eggs, they break the eggs, they dung all over the place. It's important from my aspect that basically these eggs are going to your food chain. They have to remain clean because, I don't know if you know or not, but I think I'm right in saying it's practically illegal now to wash eggs. So if your eggs are covered in doo-doos, what you're going to do? And I throw them away is what I do. So I keep my eggs and my nest as clean as I can. Now, cleaning is important. So my nests lift off. So you can get in there, you can give it a good scrubbing, you've got access to it. Again, as I said to you earlier, if you can't get at it, you're not going to clean it. That's because we're all human. If it's a pain at the bottom, we won't do it. So, nest off. Now, as part of the cleaning regime also, this roof lifts up as well. So now you can imagine you've got pretty good access all around, and then to over here, and then to heighten that, while it's coming around yet again, this wall comes out. So now what you've got is you've got complete access right the way through the arc, so you can almost push a broom if you like. Again, back to the floor, marine grade. Damp, poo, it's not going to affect it. But just as a little feature, the centre panel lifts out. And that again is because I've been there, I've done that. And that part of the floor, i.e. just inside, that part there, just inside, it takes the compacted poo of all the birds walking in. This way you can get out, you can clean it, you can turn it over, do what you like with it, but fundamentally you can get it out and you can clean it. Plus of course you can sweep all the other doings down the hole. So I'll leave that out for the moment. Ventilation is vital, and a lot of people don't realise how vital. Some people, God bless them, think in the winter all the birds getting cold and put a blanket over the house or a tarpaulin or something. No, don't do that. God gave the birds the facility to be able to overwinter with the feathers, so don't start cutting off its air supply as well. So to keep the air inside the ark healthy, fresh, we have ventilation slots. Now these slots are just above the outside wall, so you've got air coming in. You've got, at the top there, you've got another series of holes, so that means the foul air, pun fully intended, comes out of there, heat rises, sort of air, and it draws in fresh air there. The reason I have it coming in there and not underneath is because the birds don't like an updraft, because obviously no one likes to sit in a cold draft. So this way round, the fresh air is continually circulating and dragging the foul air with it. Perching is, again, normally to a lot of builds that I've seen, it's an afterthought. Bung a piece of roofing back in. Right. The birds, especially the bigger birds, have got relatively big feet. They need something chunky to be able to roost on. So what I do is we supply 3 perching, which is far more perching than needed, but the birds get the option. The dominant birds take the top perch, the other birds can take the bottom perch. They can swap, they can do what they want, but they're not all squashed in on one little bit of perch in there. And it's stout. That's not going to give, it's not going to sag. I'm trying to think what else I've got to tell you about. I've got so much to tell you about, I'm starting to run out of breath myself. Movability is vital, handles everywhere so you can move it about, and the birds can get under the ark. And the reason I want to do that is because they don't particularly like the sun. They are creatures fundamentally that if given the option will go into, if you had a 5-acre site, the birds will be found under the hedge. They want the shade. That's how the birds above, deep down up here, I think an eagle's going to get them or something, so they want to stay under the shade. They don't like the sun, they don't like to be too exposed. So that gives them the option, it gives them somewhere where it's dry, they form dust baths underneath there. So shade inside a run is as vital as the ventilation and everything else. It's all part of pandering to the birds' needs. At the front, I'm just going to go around, come around this way. You've got a pop-hole door, which is obviously every chicken house has. There you've got a power bolt, that keeps it, that keeps it up, and that keeps it locked down. Ventilation again, but mainly because at night they need fresh air. Little lifty off ramp. I'm starting to run out of tell you. There's nothing else I can say really, apart from it's a Grandddad Rob. That practically says it all, so I could have said that right to the front. Grandddad Rob, don't ask me anymore. You know it's good. Come again. If you like my video, then share it. If you want to get me on Facebook, or you want to see me on the web, I'm on www.granddadrabdesigns.co.uk. Come and find me. See you again. God bless.